27th, 2026. We do have several public hearings, so we will begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise. Ed, could you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, be seated.
Patrick Halpin.
Present.
Jerry O'Neill.
Present.
Edward Wynn.
Present.
Juan Leon.
Present.
Dan Tushin.
Present.
Frank Santos. Robert Mascaluso.
Present.
Greg Gaxiola. Matt Esposito. Emily Mull. Rich Casey.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes.
Okay, we have a quorum.
I think Rich has-
Okay, before we start the public hearing, I'm required to read the statement into the record. The planning board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the planning board may determine that any approvals, building permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the application are null and void.
Job HPLN-44, 25-31A, Skidmore Road, LLC, proposes to demolish existing structure to construct a multi-tenant industrial building, 4,738 square foot footprint with 5 garage spaces, accessory offices, and storage mezzanines, along with associated site improvements.
Okay, who's here? Who's here on behalf of the applicant?
Hello, good evening. Rachel Shelfo, Farrell Fritz PC, 100 Motor Parkway, Hauppauge, New York, for the applicant.
Okay. Have you had the opportunity to review the memorandum regarding this application?
I have, Mr. Chairman.
Does your client have any concerns about any of the conditions, the covenants and restrictions outlined in this memo?
No, we actually reviewed them today, and there are no concerns.
Okay, please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you so much for hearing this case this evening, and thank you to the Planning Department for all their help leading up to this point. I'd like to just do a quick introduction of our team. We have Susan Cortina and Anthony Cortina, who are the owners and the applicants. If you want to just raise your hand, thank you. We have our engineering team, who is Gino Tedesco and Xavier Sardoni from R&M Engineering in Huntington.
Where is he? Oh, you're over there. Oh, you're there, okay.
We have Albert Core, who is the architect, Studio Core Architects PLLC, and they are here to assist in this presentation and to answer any questions that I may not be able to answer.
Okay.
So this property is located at 30 South Skidmore. As you all know, it is Suffolk County Tax Map number 93, Block 2, Lot 41. The property is zoned G Industrial as existing. It is a non-conforming G Industrial building at 12,958 square feet, or 0.30 acres, where the code requires 15,000 square feet for a G Industrial zoned parcel. So the surrounding parcels to the north and west are zoned B residence. Those are the lots across DK Place and the lots that are located across the street on Skidmore. The parcels to the immediate east behind this property and to the south are zoned G Industrial. There is also a home immediately behind this building to the east, although that property is zoned G Industry. And in order to sort of protect that property, what we're proposing is a double wide row of evergreens screening along the property line to screen that site from this new building. So this application is seeking site plan approval in connection with the demo of the existing dwelling on the premises and construction of a new industrial building. It would be a 4,743 square foot footprint with 1,540 square feet or so of mezzanine storage space. This would be an entirely new, up-to-date site plan proposed with all the bells and whistles of a new site plan, right? So the site would have to be drainage, the site would have a new parking lot, the site would have new street trees, the site would have a new building with a nice facade. So all of the indicia of a new site plan will have to be met and satisfied as part of this application. And my clients are happy to do that. As far as the building itself, this is a five-tenant building. Sorry about that. This mic is like very hot tonight. So each tenant space is proposed to have like a garage space in order for the storage of a work vehicle, whether that's a work truck or a work van type of thing, a small office space, and a storage mezzanine. So this building was very purposefully designed for use by small business owners, such as home improvement contractors, right? Those who might need storage for a work truck or van, some tools, storage inside only, and a small office space. The idea is that each small business that is leased to one of the units would occupy one of the units on the premises. It should be noted at the outset that this is not for public garage uses. My clients do not want to rent to car guys, for lack of a better word, public garages for auto body and public repairs. That's not what this is designed for. That's not what they are looking to do. So there are protective covenants that have been proposed working with the planning department to ensure for a very controlled use of this site. So what does that include? Covenant number 20, no outside storage of any kind. That includes no materials and includes no vehicles, which I think is a very nice thing for the residents of this area, being that they kind of deal with a lot of outside storage from the public garages that are further south, I would say. Yeah. Covenant number 21, there shall be no outside work on vehicles, including mechanical work or spray painting. There's also limits on hours for any truck deliveries, right? So there are a number of very protective covenants and restrictions that the planning department has asked and we have agreed to, all right, to protect this site and those that are living around it. In addition to this development, which will be an improvement over what's existing, we are proposing new sidewalks on the South Skidmore frontage as well as on the DK Place frontage. The town has asked for, and the applicant will provide, a corner dedication in connection with the sidewalks, right? That's what allows for the handicap accessibility, to have that taking at the corner. So that will be new sidewalks and a corner taking, so those sidewalks can be accessed by someone in a wheelchair. So we are proposing a new attractive building. I don't know where the boards are. Xavier, maybe you can help. And I think you guys have them up there as well. But I did want to present that to the board. We had an opportunity to show the residents what we're looking at. Also not shown is that there's an attractive entrance. I mean, you could kind of see it in the third picture. But some industrial buildings, you end up not having that front entrance aesthetic. You end up having a blank wall, and then you turn the corner, and there's the garages to enter with a small door next to it. This has not been designed that way. This has been designed to have an attractive frontage to this building, okay? It is a smaller site. With that being said, we are proposing some significant landscaping. I already mentioned the double row of evergreens behind the proposed building and the property to the rear, but there will also be street trees on both South Skidmore and Decay, and additional plantings adjacent to the building on the Decay side. So I don't know if Xavier could point that out, but Xavier, can you point it out that way and then point it out this way?
Yeah, for those of you who are watching up on the screen, Matt ran a
Oh, okay.
landscaping.
So we have addressed all of the items from the all of the departments at this point. There is one open item from the Highway Department. It's a labeling item on the DK Place side. They just wanted us to show that there's 8 feet from the property line to the curb. We would just ask not to be held up for, with respect to a labeling item. Of course, we will label that dimension to satisfy the Highway Department or Highway Engineering, and that is the last open item. All the other comments from all the other departments have been satisfied in this case. Just to talk about the next stop in the process, because I always feel like it's important to give context to this application. There will be a few variances needed before the zoning board, one of which is a parking variance, 17 spaces required and 11 provided, but we feel that that variance relief is mitigated by some facts. Internal walls, bathrooms, and closets in each of the units were calculated as office space, 1 per 150, rather than at the storage rate of 1 per 700. And with small units like this, that actually made a difference. The relief would have been 15 spaces required to 11 in that case, so it would have made it a little bit less of a variance. The expectation is that each unit will yield 1 vehicle, right? The business owner that is coming to the site to park his or her regular vehicle, their home car, to get their work vehicle and go out to a job site. That's the idea. If that were the case, we'd be looking at 5 spaces on the site, 1 per unit. But even if in this case each unit had 2 vehicles, 1 business owner and 1 office worker, let's say, and there were 10 vehicles hypothetically parking on the site, there would still be enough parking because we are parking 11 spaces. So there's 2 spaces per unit plus an additional space provided. In terms of the side yard setback that's required, the code requires 19 and 8 is being provided. This is something that I plan to challenge the determination at the zoning board. Something is a little off with the determination. So on a corner lot in G Industry, you have to have 2 front yards. 10 feet is required on each, and we're providing that on each, right? But the code says there shall be no need for a rear yard on a corner plot, but there shall be 1 side yard opposite the secondary front. So here the building is facing South Skidmore, the secondary front is Decay, and opposite Decay would then be the side yard, and here we have 45 or so feet. I think it's 45.3 feet. Where 19 would be required. A rear yard variance would still be required for 10 to 8, or there's that language that says no, 0 rear yard is required. So that's something that will occur down the road, but I just wanted to mention that because 19 to 8 sounds a lot bigger than what it is in my opinion. I hope that makes sense. And the final variance is for the lot area, but this is an existing lot, a whole tax map number. It has not been subdivided, right? Because we know the county came in 1981 and gave every then existing parcel a whole tax lot number. So this has been existing since 1980-81 at 12,958 square feet and has been zoned G Industry. So it is an existing condition. Pre-existing, non-conforming condition. So at this point, I would like to turn the hearing over to R&M for some more specifics on the site plan and to answer any specific site plan questions. So, gentlemen?
Sir, did you fill out one of these?
I did not fill out one of
Okay,
those.
well, then you gotta go home. No, I'm only kidding. You're gonna have to fill one out, but please state your name and address for the record.
Sure, Chino Tedesco, R&M Engineering, 50 Elm Street, Huntington, New York.
Okay, you don't have to fill it out now. Do you have them up there? Okay. We're not gonna let you leave unless you fill that out.
Oh, you got
I'm
it.
not talking about the podium, I'm talking about this office.
No problem.
No, go ahead, please.
So
Hold on. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but
I do,
the truth?
absolutely. So Ms. Shelfo did a nice job just going over the particulars of the site plan. I don't know where the board came. Bring the board back this evening. Probably easier for me to point it out on the board. So as she said,
We are proposing new sidewalks along DK and South Skidmore Lane. We're proposing the double row of evergreens, which she didn't mention is we are going to put a 6-foot vinyl PVC fence along that as well to block to give a little more buffer to the adjacent residential use. What we talked about with planning was we have a refuse enclosure in the corner. You can see that it's kind of particular to get into with the refuse truck, so we worked out with planning that part of one of the conditions is going to be that the owner will have one of the tenants, probably the tenant in the last garage space, wheel out the thing on garbage, refuse and pickup days and bring it back and roll it back into its container. It'll be on wheels, so it'll be easy to roll out. We don't anticipate a lot of generated refuse at the site, probably just some paperwork and stuff for the minor things. Again, the intent of the use is to have a tradesman with his van be able to park his van in a secure location inside the garages. He can have an office where he could do his office work, his paperwork, and at the end of the business day, he can take care of that. And then, again, he'll have a parking space to park his car, and then, the van will be parked in the garage. Again, if they have an employee, there'll be maybe a second car, so we anticipate maybe 10 spaces being used at that point. There's really we got a sidewalk entrance to the front of the building. The first office space will have its own entrance from the separate entrance, like a little bit bigger of an office, so it's maybe a little fancier entrance. So we have a bicycle rack there, and we got sidewalks, ADA accessible sidewalks to all the streets. So that's essentially it. If there's any questions, I mean, it's pretty
Any of
simple.
the board members have any questions?
In the garages, there's not going to be any manual or hydraulic lifts, since there's not going to be any.
No, as
work
Ms.
done.
Shuffle said, we're not looking to have any vehicle repairs bays in these things. It's strictly going to be for your typical tradesmen, plumber, carpenters, something to that effect, or electricians that would just want to have their tools, that leave their tools in their van. They want to be able to park their van in a secure location instead of in their driveway at their house, and be able to have an office space to use.
Okay.
The entrance, the vestibule and entrance that you have on the one side of the building, that will only be for that first,
It'll only be for that first, yes, for that
So you can't walk
first
through?
garage. All the access to the other floor will be from the parking area, those 4 doors.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there'll be partition walls inside that you can't access another garage.
Okay, thank you.
So that entrance, will it have a roll gate or will it be frosted glass or something to prevent passersby from seeing in and past it into the actual space?
You're talking at the main entrance?
Yep.
There'd be no roll gate. We're not proposing any roll gate at the main
Is
entrance.
there going to be frosted glass?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Is the glass going to be frosted or tempered or something so that people can't see into
Oh, in front of,
the
I'm sorry, in the building. Actually, I can't answer that question. Albert, is it?
Yes, you do have to.
Yeah. I'll just use Albert Core. He's the architect on the job. He can answer that question a little more.
Did you fill out come on, Terry. You've done this before. Get these people to fill these things out if you want to speak to them. Okay, please state your name and address for the record.
Albert Core, Studio Core Architects, 40 Prospect Street, Huntington, New York.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, please proceed.
Related to the frosting of the front entrance, right now it's clear glass. I think that could be established via a first tenant. It could be a film applied frosting, is what we anticipate, but leaving the flexibility if somebody wants visibility or street frontage.
What type of glass is being used? Is it going to be reinforced so that if someone tries to break in, like it's just
Sure,
glass?
tempered storefront glass would be the main entrance.
Okay, any other questions for the architect?
That DK Place is a one-way street. Has there been any conversations or any questions regarding that staying one way during the construction of this?
You're asking.
Any complications? Yeah, did that come up in conversation?
It's going to
at all?
remain one way. We're not
Okay.
going to change it. Yes.
Okay.
Yep, yeah.
I have a question. It was mentioned that there's a mezzanine. Where is that located?
Correct. Yep, you could see the ship's ladder in every unit, and then that goes up to a storage mezzanine with a railing on the upper portion above the office and the bathrooms on every floor. And that houses hot water boiler, mop sink for every unit.
All right, any other questions for the architect? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So that was essentially our direct presentation. We had a few minutes to talk to the neighbors because I just wanted to show them the plan and such, but not terribly long. So I know that there's some folks that want to speak on the application, and I would just ask for the ability to come up at the end.
Yes, of course you'll have it. Okay.
Maurice Thomas?
Mr. Thomas, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Maurice Thomas, 332 Skidmore Road.
Do you
Deer
swear to
Park.
tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
Just had a couple of questions. The first one, was there a traffic study actually done? Because that's a busy corner. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, okay, I see no one mentioned about the hours of operation, okay, which is important. Right now, I live at 332 on the opposite side of the street.
Okay, hold on. Can we pull up the street view and so we know exactly where you live in relation to this?
Okay, see the empty lot? There's an empty right there. I live
Okay.
Go up, that's our house.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
thank you.
On
Please
the opposite
proceed.
side of the street, okay, there's presently a construction company, 631 Construction. 5:30 in the morning, I hear these people, okay? I mean, now, that's only one, so I don't know how much noise actually you're gonna have with 5 type of construction companies over there. So there should be some type of hours of operation. Also, they're putting sidewalks there. There's no sidewalks on Skidmore, on the K, so, and with a handicap, that doesn't even make sense. Now, unless you're gonna put sidewalks on all the corners. And also, last thing, there should be a traffic light. If we're gonna have more vehicles, then there should be actually a traffic light put there, because I've seen many accidents on that corner.
Which corner you're talking about, right? Okay, I see
Okay.
it, right there.
The only way, if you come up Skidmore, heading towards their building, you almost have to be halfway in, okay, the block in order to see around the corner if a car is coming. Now, actually, if I come out Skidmore, I'll be looking right into their proposed driveway. So, which even is worse. Now I got to worry about vehicles coming out of there, plus I got to worry about vehicles coming up the block. So with a light, which can control the traffic, okay, it'll be beneficiary not only to us, but to them also. Okay, those are basically my questions.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, what do we have next?
Christian Long?
Sir, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Christian Long, 340 Skidmore Road.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, before we go any further, do you live in this area here?
Right across the street from where they're proposing to put this building. I've lived there my whole life. My
340.
grandfather was actually the first person on that block.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that house has been in the family for a while?
Yeah. I've got pictures. We were the first people on the block.
I'm sure. Okay,
It's
please.
it's been families in that house since I've been born. There's been kids across the street. We already deal with other factories that are already there for years. I don't know. They can build a building, but they can't control who they put inside these buildings. How are they going to keep the rules upheld for where these companies are coming in here? They're not going to obey their rules every day. There's gonna be cars in the street, like we watch already. So they can't control who they put in this building. I feel like it should, I don't know how far it's along, but if it could stay like a family building, we already have enough factories. I got kids, they have a child now, and at their house, there's a park right down the block. So all this extra cars, it's a lot of traffic, definitely a traffic light or something, but we have a lot of kids around that neighborhood too. So I feel like how far are we gonna go with these buildings? There's already a whole factory down Skidmore, down Brook. Like, when do we get a chance to just be regular people and just have our area, you know? Like, I feel like taking that house down, a family could live there. We got people in our neighborhood that need a place to live. So I don't know. I just feel like they should rethink this idea of putting another industrial building across the street. Like, and then the noise as well. I live across the street too. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. We hearing everybody getting ready for their workday. Okay, I get it, but we're sleeping. We still have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys don't have to deal with that. Nobody has to deal with that but us. So that's not fair. We don't know what time they're gonna start working. Yeah, it's not, I don't feel like it's conducive to our neighborhood. And then who's gonna maintain their property? Do they have a building maintenance? Is somebody gonna come maintain whoever's cleaning up after all of these companies? Or there's gonna be a bunch of garbage everywhere? Like, I'd rather not. I'd rather put a family back in there, kids, and they keep all the industrial stuff where it's at. We should be a line of where it stops. Like, how far we're gonna keep going into the neighborhood. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. We have no other people who have signed up to address the board regarding this application, so I'm going to ask the council for the applicant to come forward. As you know, there were number of questions that were raised that you said you'd like to address.
I would like to address, but I'm going to address them from the most recent back to the beginning, if that's okay.
Sure.
So Christian Long raised a really good point about who's going to monitor this. So we're talking about covenants and restrictions that will run with the land, but he has a good point. Sometimes if there's no one there to see what's going on, right, that's not a great thing. In this case, we don't have that problem. My client runs a court reporting and service of process serving business, and her business is located around the corner on Brook Avenue in another building that they own. So we have a property owner that is going to be in the immediate vicinity to sort of police that everything is working according to what we're agreeing to here today. She is fully invested in the community, as is her brother, and I just wanted to say that she sees the trucks and the vehicles in the morning kind of parked up and down the road, and that it was her idea brought to planning and then working with planning that, hey, I don't want a public garage, I don't want an auto body. As to Mr. Long's point, he had another really good point about where would this continue, right? I will submit that this is the last G lot, and then above this, it all becomes B residential. So when you cross DK, B residential, when you cross the street that way. So this is the it to the industrial. This is the last industrial zone property. So I just wanted to answer his questions there. Maurice Thomas.
Hold on for 1 second. I just want to make sure we're clear about this. As you know, there are a number of covenants and requirements that the town is requiring. One is that the grounds and parking area shall be inspected for litter monthly, and that any litter should be removed. The second is there'll be street sweeping of the parking areas that'll be conducted at least 4 times a year, once every 3 months, annually, to remove any sediment that might impact drainage or infrastructure. But the gentleman who spoke, is there going to be a condition in any of the leases that the landlord has regarding maintaining, their area, and so that
I
can
mean,
be.
that's pretty typical of leases. And I think that your conditions that you're stating to are more like for the big shopping centers.
Yes, they are. That's exactly right.
They're not, and the town kind of utilizes the same verbiage, but in this case, that would be a crazy long time to skip between cleaning, right? For such a small spot. So I would assume that Ms. Cortina would have that in the leases as.
Okay, hold on. Just tell your attorney who can then tell us.
Yes, so they're doing that now with respects to other properties they own, and that she would be fine with putting that in the leases, that they are to maintain the property. Obviously, some of these conditions and covenants are going to have to be explained and become part of the leases as well. So like, they can't park their work truck outside. That's just not a thing that could happen here. So all of that is going to have to be explained and the right lease to the right people, right?
Yes.
So going back to Mr. Maurice Thomas's questions, with respect to noise, with respect to sidewalks, I'm so glad he brought that up. Because we are required to put those in, even though they're not there now. So what happens is, the idea is we'd be the first to start, right? And as others came in and redeveloped, then this community could get the full row and the full length of sidewalks. So that's not something we just, we're happy to do it, but that's a requirement of the town to try to get those sidewalks going. And even if we're the first, we would do that to try to get those sidewalks going. So I just wanted to say that. As far as noise, I think that this isn't going to be, because of the no outside storage, where we see a lot of noise is where folks are like loading their trucks in the morning, right? And they're doing it outside because they have pavers or landscaping materials, right? Or other things that outside, they're kind of picking that up in a bucket, putting it in the back of their truck, going to deliver maybe some landscaping to a site, and you get that paver noise, that brick noise. That's not something that's anticipated here. These vehicles would be loaded inside, right? Because they're all going to be stored outside, no outside storage at all. So I think that's going to help with some of the noise. In many ways, this application and the conditions that are being proposed are sort of like a reaction to maybe some of the not so great things that have occurred on this road in the past, right? So kind of learning from what's happened there and existing conditions and trying to make it better. But not only on the town side, also on my client's side, kind of seeing the community and not wanting those to bring any of those adverse impacts to the community. In terms of hours of operation, we are limited already to like things like truck delivery and let me just see. In the conditions. There's a number of covenants that kind of limit when certain things will happen. In terms of the hours of operation, we obviously don't have the tenants yet to say what the exact hours of operation, but we fully expect them to be a regular workday type of thing. I don't expect late evening hours, right? I mean, my father was a surveyor and a party chief out in the fields, and he was pretty much done by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There is that, going into the site and leaving, but we're talking about 5 vehicles that are going to be leaving in the morning. It's not like a massive type of site. They're not outside. They're just pulling out from inside the vehicle. We shouldn't have any idling issues. So I think this has kind of been very smartly designed to kind of mitigate a lot of the harms you might see on other G industrial zoned properties. People were also exchanging phone numbers between my clients and some of the residents. So I think that, kind of having that communication between owner and folks in the neighborhood is always a good thing. And then traffic. I just wanted to bring Gino Tedesco back up to talk a little bit more detail about that.
Anybody have any questions regarding? Sir?
All right. So there was a traffic study done, a parking and a traffic study done. It was submitted to the town. It was reviewed with the rest of the application. Unfortunately, our traffic engineer could not be here tonight, but I will do my best to give a synopsis of what his report says here. So just we'll start off with the parking. So on the parking, we use the Institute of Traffic Engineers Parking Generation Manual, the latest edition. I think it was the 6th edition. We came up with, for the land use code, it's Land Use Code 180 typically, it's under a specialty trade contractor. We utilize this for the 6,800 square feet of building for the contractor use, and we came up that it would come with a maximum of 11 vehicles parked, you know, for that particular use for that size building, which is essentially what we're calling out to be parked as 11 spaces. There is off-street parking on Decay Place, so that would also, you know, help us with parking if there was ever a need, but we don't feel like there would be a need based on the uses that are there. We analyze the traffic, again, using the Institute of Traffic Trip Generation Manual for that type of use. The latest edition, we use a specialty trade contractor again. We've analyzed the traffic. We came up with an AM commuter peak hour of 10 trips, 8 entering and 2 exiting. Midday peak hour of 5 trips, 2 entering, 3 exiting. And then the peak commuter peak hour of 12 trips, 4 entering, 8 exiting. We find this to be a de minimis level of traffic at the peak hours. The PM was the peak hour, actually, and such, we don't feel like it would have any notable impacts on the traffic operations within the vicinity of this site. That's my summary. I'm sorry. I apologize that I'm not a traffic engineer, but that's what I use. Thank you very much.
All right, I understand we have another person who would like to address the board. Vanessa Smith. Vanessa Smith. Come on up.
Hi.
Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Vanessa Smith, 340 Skidmore Road, Deer Park, New York, 11729.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please proceed.
With this development that they're going to, I guess, put directly across the street from my home.
Okay, where's your home again? Would you
Right
point that
there.
out?
Yep, you have the arrow on it.
Okay, you're pointing out, we're looking at our screens right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, where the arrow is, okay, all right.
Right there.
Thank you, I didn't hear that.
Basically, my family has been in that community since it's the startup. Just a little backstory to the development across the street. My Uncle Bruce, the Forsters, did own that, and the house was there. When my brother just prior did speak, he asked about our quality of life, okay? They addressed the traffic, the this, the that, but they did not address our quality of life. So basically, now what you see is like almost like an invisible line if you do come on Skidmore to where the factories end and where like the quality of life or like the communities, the family, we live on that other half, okay? Putting this directly across the street, for one, that DK, that one-way, people don't abide by that one-way. They said that they were gonna have parking up the one-way. If it's a one-way, it just really doesn't make any sense. There's only one way in, one way out. I guess logistically, if I'm thinking about it, my car's across the street. I do have younger children. My children do ride their bikes. After hours, my children like to ride their bikes around the factories. It's what I did as a child. Putting something across the street, it does like give me like, hey, I gotta be careful because we have unknown contractors who we don't know if they're going to leave for the night or if they're going to be staying in the office buildings. I mean, how many cars can fit in this one garage thing? Why do you need so many spaces? It just pours back to our quality of life. So for me and this building, I would feel right to put a family there because families live in that families live in the community. And it's been for years on years on years. It's like you guys say that you guys invested into our community, but it's like, how do you guys invest into our community? Adding sidewalks respectfully. Oh, I'm sorry. Adding sidewalks respectfully. What is that going to do for us, for our quality of life? That we have a piece of cement to walk on now? Like, that does nothing. But it does add another building, and you guys get more money out of it, so I guess there's that. But if there's a possibility to not have that building go up there, if you guys can, please, I guess maybe redirect it, make it into a home to where people can live there. You can service our community with people. I mean, there's plenty of people that don't have places to stay. Make it back into a home. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Anyone else? No? Okay. All right. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board regarding this application? No? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, Dan?
I have a question. So, one of the biggest issues with any building that doesn't have property management on site is the residents trying to get in touch with them. Would your client be opposed to having some type of signage either put in the lawn or on the building? So should there be any issues going forward that the community members can reach out to them as opposed to having to track them down and foil the information from the town?
I think that that's absolutely fine, but I would just say that Sue gave a couple of people tonight her cell phone number, so I think that has already happened. All right, and she just gave Valerie her cell phone number, who's the head of the Civic, Valerie St. Bernard, as well as Mr. Maurice. So I know that and I think she'd be willing to do that for anyone else that was interested. Okay, 'cause she is so local.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hypothetically, if a business were to have more than one work vehicle, what would happen in a situation like this?
They would have to maybe take 2 of the units for 2 of their work vehicles, right? Because the units don't have enough space for multiple vehicles there. I just think that 1 unit wouldn't be a fit for them. So there's nothing saying that the electrician that has 2 vehicles might not take the last 2 units. I don't, there could be a double of that. But it's just the way that this is designed. It's not for multiple units inside, and we're agreeing to no, vehicles inside, and we're agreeing to no vehicles outside. I mean, we think an estimate of the hours of operation would be 7 to 6. I understand there is a hanging out problem at some of the buildings after hours, where sometimes you could hear like loud music playing, and you're kind of wondering what's going on after the business should be closed. That's not what is being proposed or sought here. So I think in terms of, after hours, being able to not, when someone's riding your bike, my son rides his bike after school, right? That you're seeing the day is wrapped up at this site. Again, just kind of learning from some of the issues that have been experienced elsewhere. And just something I forgot to say, that I know this type of unit is in demand, right? Because what happens? People have a work car, they perhaps get a ticket for storing their work van in their residential driveway. What do? They go to someone that owns a parking lot, and they then ask, can I pay you to store my van here in your parking lot? Well, guess what? You're really not allowed to do that either, right? Because if that site doesn't allow for outside storage, you're not allowed to do that either. So I know that if I were to go back in time and put on my town hat, that this is the type of use where folks, small businesses, are actually looking for small units, store 1 vehicle, have a phone on, computer on their desk, and kind of keep it that way. It's a small site, small building, trying to keep it simple and very much under control. That was the goal here, the goal of planning, the goal of my clients, knowing the area, and I don't know that, I think that's all we have to say at this time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you to the neighbors that came out tonight, too.
Yes, thank you. All right. I'm going to request a motion from the board to close the hearing and reserve decision. Motion by Ed.
Motion to close and reserve.
Second by Jerry. All in favor? Aye. Approved. So the public hearing has now been closed. The decision, though, has been reserved in order for us to review the feedback we've received this evening and any open plan issues. The record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in a number of different ways. First is in person. Planning is located on the west side of Town Hall. Application documents and plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or via email, planningcomments@townofbablinny.gov. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to go to our next public hearing, if you don't mind. Why don't you call the public hearing, please?
Public hearing B, job PLAN 26-1 for Empor. Proposes, the applicant is proposing to change the use of a 6,750 square foot tenant space for retail use to a virtual golf simulator and bar, along with associated improvements.
Okay, who's here on behalf of the applicant?
Hello, my name is Christopher Voorhees. I'm with Nelson & Pope Engineering. I'm the civil engineer for this project.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
And I want to add the address, 70 Maxis Road,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Melville,
ahead,
New York,
please.
11747.
Yeah, Ms. Memo, too.
And, okay, have you had a chance to review the memo regarding this application?
Yes, we have.
Are there any questions, any comments, anything that you would like to bring to the board's attention?
Sure, yes. There is one condition that we have reviewed and had a preliminary meeting with the fire marshal. This is condition number 33 in regard to fully
Give us a
sprinkled.
chance to look at
Please,
that.
take your time.
Condition 33.
Yes, so the condition states that the entire building is to have a fully automatic fire sprinkler system installed. In our initial meeting with the fire marshal, he was open to providing sprinkler for this one space. It's my understanding that the building has fire sprinkler service, and the proposal would be to sprinkler this one space and provide protection so it doesn't travel between. At this point, this is a preliminary conversation, and we'd like to have that consideration as part of the conditions. Other than that, we don't have any other comments on the conditions. All right, so I'll jump right in. The subject application tonight, as indicated, is the conversion of an existing retail space to that of a proposed golf simulator with a bar and restaurant. The proposed tenant space, as we're zooming in to the screen right now, is in the southwest corner of the portion of the shopping center bound by Park Avenue, Montauk Highway, and Brookvale Avenue to the east. The zone of this property is e-business, and the golf simulator business is proposed to occupy a space of 6,750 square feet. And that's highlighted in gray on the site plan in front of you. As this business includes on-site food and beverage sale, the application will require a special exemption from this board for that use. We feel that this use is not out of character for the area, as it's located within a substantially developed shopping center with signalized connection to public streets. Touching on parking next, the existing approved use is retail as stated, and golf simulator, the proposed use, is not a defined use within the town parking schedule. The planning department has determined that this proposed use is to utilize the parking ratio typically assigned to bowling alleys, as that's a comparable analogy for this business. The existing use requires a 1 stall per 200 square foot of floor area ratio, and the proposed requires 6 stalls for every 1 simulator bay. Therefore, with our given parking calculations and layout, we have determined that our proposed use is a more intensive parking requirement. And as such, the parking calculations have determined that we'll require a minor parking variance. And this board will be presented to the Board of Appeals as well. In addition to the parking, based on the property zoning, the application will require a special exception from the Board of Appeals for the permitted use of a place of amusement in this zone. The proposed project will also require a new kitchen waste line to be installed and associated grease trap. The proposed sewer connection is to be located in the rear of the existing building near Park Avenue, right where the cursor is, and to connect to the existing sanitary discharge located in that roadway. The sewer connection permit has been submitted to the county for approval, and that application is currently pending under review. The proposed architectural improvements, if you want to take your time, I'll read slow. The architectural improvements include building signage, inclusion on the existing site pylon sign, as well as the demolition and reconstruction of the interior space. That interior space, as you see before you, contains 8 golf bays, as well as a small bar and table area for the proposed patrons. Along with myself, I have other members of the team and ownership here for any questions or comments the public or the board may have. And that's the end of my presentation.
Okay, does anybody have any questions? Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? No? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I'm going to request a motion from the board to close the hearing and reserve decision. Motion by, let's see, Dan?
Motion to reserve.
Second by Frank. All in favor? Aye. The hearing has now been closed. The decision, though, has been reserved in order for us to review any of the feedback or open questions or any open site plan issues. The record will remain open for written comment. To follow up on the status of the application or to submit additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in a number of different ways. In person, planning is located in the west wing of Town Hall. Application documents, plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone, 631-957-3103, or by email, planningcomments@townofbabylonny.gov. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Item C,
Thank you.
public
Good luck
hearing.
with it.
Look forward to having you.
It's going to be nice. It'll be very nice.
Item C, public hearing, site plan review, bar restaurant, job plan, PLAN 26-4 Cava. The applicant is proposing interior alterations to an existing 1,142 square foot tenant space into a 40-seat Cava restaurant.
Good evening, Chairman.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Kevin Rehm with Bowler, address 275 Broad Hollow Road in Melville, New York.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please proceed.
This is-
Hold on before you start. The commissioner, as you know, has a memo regarding this application. Have you had the chance to review this?
We have, and
Are
we
there
don't have any comments.
issues, any concerns regarding any of the conditions, restrictions, or covenants?
No.
So you accept all of those?
Correct.
Okay, please proceed.
This one, new process for us, as we know. Again, this is from when the development first was started here in 2015, when it was a driving range. This whole development was built with the intention of these 2 pad site buildings being restaurants, retail. I believe when it first, I forgot the tenant originally had, but 2023, a restaurant, Taim, had gone into the space and our office had handled the approvals for that. They shortly went out of business, and now here we are, a new restaurant going into the space. Nothing aside from the tenant name is going to change and their operation. They have one in Melville, if you've all been. They're starting to pop up everywhere, very popular restaurant. Connecting to the existing grease trap that's there, that was installed when the development was first done. When the rest of the tenants have been there, there's been no issues. We've already had conversations with the county, and it's really just a formality of just going to get their approval as with all other applications. No facade changes except for a new sign, just to label the tenant name. And the rest is just interior fit-outs. No increase in seats from what was previously there or approved when the original development was done. And I'll be happy to answer any questions to that name.
Do any of the board members have any questions? No? Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the board regarding this application? Okay, there isn't. So the public hearing, I'll ask for a motion to close the public hearing. Motion by Juan,
Motion to close the hearing, reserve decision.
second by Ed.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, the hearing has now been closed, and the decision has been reserved in order for us to review anything or any open issues that we might receive or any issues regarding the site plan. But the record will remain open for written comments. To follow up on the status of the application or submit any additional written comments, you can contact the planning department in a number of different ways. In person, planning is located on the west wing of Babylon Town Hall. Application documents and plans are available for inspection between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. or by phone 631-957-3103 or by email planningcomments@townofbabylonny.gov. Okay. Thank you.